This is Trades, Tools, and Talks, the Simpro podcast making work work. I'm Karlie Huckels. Today we are talking Simpro products.
95% of our business is run on Simpro.
Get ready to dive into Takeoffs with product marketing specialist Bonita Reck and Steve Frame, a senior estimator at AJB Electrical Services, a Simpro customer in the greater Sydney area of Australia. Hi Bonita. Hi Steve.
Hi.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I really want to get to know you, Steve, and I really want to hear your backstory. So what is your business story? How'd you migrate to Simpro?
So I've only been with AJB for 2 years now. So prior to that, the company's been in operation for 15 years. And they ended up getting a business manager in to try and streamline the business better, of how they could do things better. And Simpro was part of that negotiation with them and put Simpro in place. That was probably about 7 years ago now, maybe a bit longer, because I remember I was a supplier to this company then, and that's when they went over to Simpro. Since Simpro's come on board for the company, it's changed everything. I mean, the whole running of the business relies on Simpro, and it's just streamlined the business so much better. 95% of our business is run on Simpro.
Tell me about Takeoffs, because that's your bread and butter, and you're in that all the time.
Yeah, I am. So I use Simpro for all my quoting business. It's just the simplicity of it. It's just a one-stop shop now. I don't have to keep coming in and out of different software to get it to work properly. So Takeoffs, it just keeps it all within the one software program, and it's easy. It's easy just to keep going in and out of the same program. Takeoffs has been an absolute goldmine for us to have in our business.
So can you walk me through like how you would go about a project in Takeoffs? How do you use it?
Well, so previously in another software, we'd have to generate all the takeoffs and then transfer it across. And then just to simplify that and go back into the previous software, it was really difficult all the time going in and out. So one of the best things about takeoffs is you're in the quote and you're in the takeoff at the same time. And that's so important. It generates the quotation on the back of the takeoff rather than the takeoff generating the quotation. So before it was two separate things, but now within the takeoffs, within Simpro, it's within the one cost center. So it makes more sense that it's right in front of you in both versions.
And do you utilize the symbol recognition?
Oh, the development of that has been outstanding. It really is the feature of the whole takeoff tool. On and above everything else, obviously, that it's great with, but the symbol recognition, it just saves so much time. It doesn't focus on the orientation of the symbol, it focuses on the symbol. And that's so important, because on the plans that we do, especially being the electrical plans, I'll just use the X sign, for example. On a plan, the orientation of the X sign could be to the north, could be to the south, to the west, could be anywhere. This symbol recognition within Takeoffs of Simpro, it doesn't worry about the orientation. It focuses on the symbol that you're trying to find. And that makes it so much better. There's others that we've had to do that, and it'll pick up only if it's facing north, and you've got to keep coming back in and out to try and find the other orientations. And they can be missed too. And you've only got to miss 3 or 4. Doesn't have to be an exercise, anything. And that could be up to thousands of dollars that you're now being held accountable for. Whereas Takeoffs doesn't miss. It picks everything up. And it also has the little slide bar that it depends how much you want to drill into the symbol, because some of our plans are quite busy with different lines coming through for other parts of the design, whereas you can pull that back on the slide bar and it just makes it so much better to find.
How would you say that Simpro and Takeoffs have changed your workflow now?
Well, it's made it a lot easier and a lot quicker. So we're not spending the time to do a quotation. It's obviously been reduced dramatically. I mean, everyone's all about time, aren't we? No one's ever got enough time to do any of their work. But so this certainly helps us progress on saving a lot more time, and it's a lot quicker and more efficient. And as I keep saying, it's a one-stop shop. You're just going into the one area all the time to keep doing your work. So it's fantastic. The value for using the Simpro Takeoffs in the cost alone for the license per month is a feature that Simpro should be pushing further. They should be highlighting that fact. I think I've said it before, you should be asking more. You're not getting a buck for your value, to be honest. We are, absolutely. But it really is cost effective for what you gain back as well on top of the time. It's unbelievable.
What is your history with Simpro Takeoffs?
When it first came out, we we brought a license, and then Bonita contacted me, said, would you like to have a chat with us? We'd like to get your feedback on how you've found it so far. I think we've had probably 4 or 5 of those now over the last 12 months plus.
Yeah.
And every time it just keeps developing better and better. And I'm not saying just on the back of what I've done, but it goes back to what I said about the service level. They've listened to the customer and kept streamlining it to make it even better for the customer.
Steve, in your own words, how would you what is Takeoffs?
Takeoffs is just a tool to develop a requirement on any given job, to be honest, on any given project. It can be used for anything that you're doing in any industry, to be fair. If you've got a set of plans that you have been asked to do a quote on, Takeoffs is the tool.
I love that. See,
Yeah,
look at
you have a good answer.
he's so good. Oh my
Stop
goodness.
it.
You know what my answer is, Steve?
What?
Is that it's an add-on estimating software.
well, that is.
Yeah, I know, but your answer is way better.
Okay, I feel like we should do a who versus who now. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
all right.
I'll just get on the whiteboard. That's 1 to me.
Yeah. Keep a tally.
Yeah.
What businesses do you think Takeoffs is for? Like, who should be using Takeoffs?
Oh, it's, electrical, plumbing, just all the trades, that are in the building industry at least, at the very minimum. And I'm sure looking outside the square, there's probably a lot of other trades that can use it as well. But certainly the building industry is the first market to hit, because we all have plans. We've all got to do our takeoffs and we've got to do our quotations. So probably start with the building industry, the construction industry, definitely.
Bonita, what's your counter?
No, mine was very much the same. Basically, anybody that uses a plan, like any industry where they've got a plan and they need to either count items or mark up a plan, was basically my answer. And like you said, Steve, thinking outside the box. I know I've spoken to customers previously where like they're in the forestry industry and they're literally using Takeoffs to like plant the trees, like mark out where they're planting their trees.
Wow, there you go.
How outside the box is that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what does each feature do?
I can answer.
A lot.
Yeah, look, it does. And I know, Karlie, we've gone into this higher up. But so the plan page is basically where you can see where you've uploaded your plans. You can see whether or not they've been completed or if they're being worked on, if they're an as-built. You can also manage your cost centers and sections in that area as well. The plan upload wizard is actually the process of which uploading the plan. You can add your logo, crop items out on the page, and do things like that to make it easier to create a takeoff from that plan. And then the drawing page itself is actually the area where you're doing all your marking up, your counting, your measuring, and things like that. So that's where the symbol recognition tool sits. Yeah, all the fun stuff happens on the drawing page.
Nice.
Now, see, I could have answered that like that. That was
It's all right. I've had a lot of practice on webinars for that one.
What is the symbol recognition tool and how does it save you time?
If you've got a very clean plan, and when I say clean, you haven't got a lot of lines and other areas from other trades that are required on the plan, any recognition tool will work really well. But I've found with the Simpro takeoff recognition tool that a lot of my plans aren't clean. They're very, very messy and very, very what's the word to use?
Like busy.
Yeah, very busy, very busy. So symbols can be lost within those other lines. But with the recognition tool of takeoffs, it's more just on what you want to find, and it finds it better than anything that I've seen. And that slide bar, without that slide bar, it probably wouldn't work as effective. So whoever's put that in there has nailed it, because that helps you then narrow it even further, just to pick what you want. But the number one, I think the thing that's most important about the recognition tool is the orientation of the symbol is irrelevant. That's the key, because very few symbols are always in the same orientation on any plan, and the orientation is the key.
I forgot if we talked about this, Bonita, but is there a limit on how many symbols you can have?
There's not a limit on the number of symbols you can check. So you can check as many on a page as you want, but there is a limit to how many it can actually find at a time. But I think that limit is quite high.
It's really good.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact number, but I don't think in one single go you're probably looking at more than
No way.
500 anyway. I think that's
No.
why we put it up so high. The other thing that I would touch on is that the symbol recognition tool for takeoffs, it's included in the price. Like, it doesn't cost you anything extra to use. It's not an add-on to the add-on. It's all included. So you don't have to worry about how many you're looking at. And if you need to mark up like 20, 30 different types of symbols for all the different things that you've got on the plan, it's all included and you don't need to worry about it because it's just there.
And just further to that it's included in the price for your sales team who are going to go out there and market Simpro takeoffs. Other software, depending on how many symbols you recognize within the month, up to a limit, the price then doubles to go further than that limit. I found when I first started using it, after week 1, my price had doubled. So for the next 3 weeks, I was paying double the amount, which was more than the license for the software. So I've stopped. I haven't used that now probably in 4 or 5 months because I refuse to pay for it. Yeah,
That's crazy.
So that's a real selling tool for your takeoffs.
So I think that's all that I have for you guys today, question-wise. But I just want to say thank you for sitting down and talking takeoffs with me today. And thanks for coming on Trades, Tools, and Talks.
Thanks for having me. Sign up for takeoffs.
Thanks for having me, guys. I hope everybody enjoys takeoffs like I have.
Takeoffs is one cool deal. If you are ready to learn more about how it can help you and your business, reach out to Simpro today. If you're already a customer, contact your account manager. If you're not, well, what are you waiting for? Join Team Simpro today. Head online to simprogroup.com. This is Trades, Tools, and Talks. I'm Karlie Huckels. Talk to you next time.